Right now, though, it's time to bring in the guy who's going to bring us our springtime forecast. Good morning, Pat.
And good morning. Yes, spring rain, and then a little bit of March snow. Because remember what Mama Pagano always said that April borrows 3 days from March.
And tomorrow's going to be one of those days.
Yeah, tomorrow will be one of those. It's not going to be terrible, but I think again, the most significant snow will extend from the Berkshires on up into the Green and White Mountains. So that's that's who will get the higher elevations. That's who will get the significant snow. For us, it's cloudy and rainy today. The rain is going to be enveloping the entire area by mid-morning, low 50s. Tonight, periods of rain. Wet snow for the higher elevations, 35 to 40. Windy with periods of rain, wet snow, accumulations again, higher elevations tomorrow. In and around the immediate Catskills, I would think an inch or so. Once you get to the Berkshires, you're looking at 2 to 4, and once you get up to the Green and White Mountains, it's 4 plus.
Now, I want to chime in here. Like every TV station in this market, every one has us getting here in Northwest Connecticut 3 to 6 inches. I look at your forecast. I even look at the National Weather Service forecast. And yes, they're calling for what you're calling for, and especially in northern Berkshire County. But I just, I don't understand what the difference is and why this happens, because it gets people all worked up.
Well, that's true. And again, a lot depends on how intense the storm gets and where it moves to. That is the key. Now, again, I said this yesterday. If we were to get the snow coming in early tonight and it's going to snow all night long, yeah, then everybody's going to get an accumulation. But if this stuff is going to change to wet snow like in the early morning hours, like now, you're not going to get that much. I mean, you're combating, the April sun. And even though you don't see it, it's up there.
Yeah.
And it's very, very hard to get accumulating snow. You would really need a monster storm bringing, heavy, heavy precipitation, 1 inch per hour of snow to get that kind of an accumulation. And right now, I don't see it. So that's the way I'm going. And I still have rain showers in the forecast for Saturday, middle 50s, but I think that's early. And then later in the day, a little sun. Then switch that around Sunday. Little sun, then cloudy with late showers. And the high on Sunday, about 60. So the weekend looks a little bit unsettled, but it's not terrible.
I'm looking at the radar now, and there's a lot of precipitation just to our east, but it's also moving more from the south to the north, the south to almost due north.
That is correct. But also notice that there is another batch of rain covering the northern half of New Jersey.
Yep, that's coming our way.
Yeah, all of that. Well, that's moving to the northeast. The other stuff you just mentioned in eastern Connecticut, western Connecticut, is moving from south to north. But the whole thing is just going to gel and get together. And again, that storm system is getting its act together right now as we speak. And I located it to be I'm looking again to see where the lowest pressures are. The lowest pressures are, so there's another, it's just off the Virginia Capes. And, we really have to see pressures falling and the wind picking up, etc., before I am going to get excited about an April snowstorm for us.
Right.
Up north, you'll get it, but for us, not yet at this point. So I'm just going to wait and watch and see what happens. And that's pretty much it.
I was explaining to people earlier this morning. I always work from home in the afternoons, from in between 4 and 6, and in the mornings in between 3 o'clock and 4:30. I couldn't reach the station. I could reach the station, but I couldn't reach my servers that hold all our audio and the news files this morning. So I couldn't get most of the work done. So I started off behind the 8 ball. I kind of figured I knew what happened. I figured one of the cats got into the back of the engineering rack and did something. And so I get here, and sure enough, both servers, which are 4 terabyte servers, all right, each 4 terabyte, were knocked over and unplugged and lying on the floor.
Okay.
So I said to myself, God, I hope they work. I lifted them back up and found the audio plugs and plugged them in, and they worked, thank God. Can you imagine having to replace 4 terabytes of data? It would have been just horrible. But
Well, I can tell you one thing.
uh,
You have a choice here. You either keep those cats out of the studio.
no, this wasn't in
Well,
the studio. This was in the it's the back equipment room, okay? And
Right.
I seal it off because they like to go back in there and hide, right? But and I know who it is. It's Am. He loves. He found a way to get through where I had it sealed up. So this morning, as part of the of sealing it up, this time I used metal plates screwed into the rack. So there's no way that he can jump up and hit it and get through it anymore. Cats are just the darndest thing, I tell you.
Because they would make very nice hats. I mean, you're talking money here, big bucks. So, yeah, you're going to have to do something. You're definitely going to have to do something to make sure that it doesn't happen like that again. But I understand. I understand you like them and all of that, but they have to know. They have to know that they have a special territory, and that's it.
Well, they're not like dogs.
Yeah, I guess not.
They're hard to convince. They're hard to convince.
Yeah, and they like to climb and jump and the whole bit.
And chew and, but well, at least they go in the litter box.
Well, at least you got that to be thankful for.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Nothing worse than coming in and finding cat stuff all over the place. But anyway, so that was my problem for this morning. But I'm all psyched and ready to go for the rest of the day today, and then I hope I wake up tomorrow and I don't see any snow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, if you were to see anything, I mean, maybe you'd get a little bit of a dusting on the lawns and car tops, and rooftops, but that's about it. I mean, I don't know. I think 3 to 6 is a little bit, what's the word? Just a little bit, just being a little too aggressive.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Well, anyway, so that's where we stand. So other than that, I haven't watched many movies this week. I haven't watched much TV at all. As a matter of fact. I don't know.
I have no. I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, neither have I. I don't know why. I haven't watched much of anything. I don't know that, and that includes all that. There's a bunch of new premieres that hit the screen like once a week. But I just you got to have that hour and a half to 2 hours to just sit and do nothing else. Because I'm not the type of person that can watch something, put it on pause, and go away and come back. I can't.
Right. Okay.
If I start watching it, I've got to watch it all the way to the end. So that's my problem. But anyway, I drove my Ford Edge in here today. I've been driving my Volkswagen for the past couple of days, past week or so. But I figured I'd get the Edge warmed up just in case because it's just even if there's only an inch of snow, it just handles snow better than the Volkswagen.
By the way, whatever happened to the car as far as the damage?
Well, the damage is as follows. There's I've got 7 dents on the car. Okay. One on the left front fender. I've got 2 on the hood. On the roof, there's 4 dents, and then on the back of the car, where the trunk is, there's another 3 or 4 dents. Now these are all. They look like softballs hit the car. Okay.
Okay.
But they didn't damage the paint. And I'll be darned if I'm going to file an insurance claim and have to pay the $1,000 to get them fixed.
Right.
And then have my insurance go up. Because you can't really notice them until you get real close. So I was very lucky. I was extremely lucky. Like I said, a foot away from me, the car was totally crushed. That was right next to me. 1 foot away from my car, totally crushed. So I was lucky. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to declare this. I like the car. I'm not going to come up with $1,000 to fix basically 8 dents. If something develops where there's any rust or anything like that develops, well, then I'll take it to a body shop and I'll get it fixed and I'll pay for it myself. I won't claim it. But there was no way I was going to claim the damage because the car, the metal handled it much better than I thought. But the Volkswagen's not made with plastic parts, not fiberglass or anything like that. It's solid metal. So it came through it okay. Amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Once you saw the picture and the video of it, that it came through so well. But it did.
Oh, good. So you're lucky. Good.
I was
Good,
lucky.
good,
It was
good. Yeah.
the gods were smiling down upon me that day, Pat. But unfortunately,
Yes. Amen.
not for my dog walker.
Oh, really?
Her
Yeah.
car, it's just obliterated. I mean, just
Yeah.
totally smashed. But she's picking up a new one on Friday. She got her insurance settlement, and she's getting another car, and all set to go on Friday. And I told her, just don't park it under the tree. Or it's up to the
all.
tree until the tree comes down. They're going to take the rest of the tree down, but of course, everybody's so busy because it's been a crazy winter with trees down. So these people
Yeah,
are
and there may be a little bit of a wind tomorrow, but as far as any quote high winds, not in the forecast for at least the next 5 days.
all right. Well, we'll check with you tomorrow and see what's up in the morning. And of course, if anything changes this afternoon, we know we'll hear from Pat Pagano.
That is correct.
All right, Pat, have a good day.
You too. Bye, Marshall.
Pat Pagano in the Weather Center this morning with a check on the tri-state forecast here on Robin Hood Radio.